a relentless morning of heavy rain, and this is a 3-hour loop, and we're continuing to see downpours all across southeast Texas. So let me take you out now to each community you're coming out from as you're headed into your commute from work. We're seeing heavy rain inside the loop and in the beltway, anywhere you see those oranges and those splashes of brighter orange, even a little bit of red there, that signals some of that blinding rain. So make sure before you head on the road that your windshield wipers are working properly so that you don't catch yourself in one of these heavy cells without being able to have good visibility. So West University Place right now, you're seeing heavy rain, West U to Bel Air, Westwood Park, same thing there, and that goes all the way down to Almeda. So we're seeing a big swath of rain there. We're seeing a big swath of rain for Hawthorne Place, for East Houston, Beaumont Place. You're right in the middle of a pocket of lighter showers, but more of the heavier moisture is moving into your area here momentarily. Cloverleaf, heavy rain. Channelview, seeing pockets of moderate rain. Pasadena, moderate to heavy rain. Jersey Village, steady rain throughout the morning. Same thing for I-10, the Katy Freeway. That is going to be a wet commute through and through. And as we get a little wider look, you'll notice the heavier batch of rain focused right where we don't want it to be, which is our far northern cities and counties. Those are spots that have active warnings all around the area. So I'm going to talk about those warnings here now and show you which spots have been overly saturated throughout the last few days and how the continuation of that over the last couple of hours has made things a lot worse. We'll start off with the downtown shot again. So the Loop, the Beltway, heavy rain, Weston Lakes to Mission Bend, heavy rain, and then we take it over to the coastline. There's been heavy rain there all morning long. So I've removed radar here so you can get kind of a clearer look at the warnings that are in effect right now. So there's a flood warning for Brazoria County, and this is impacting some 5,500 people. And this is also including another flood warning that affects about 4,000 people, and this is going to expire this evening. So that expires until lasts until 10:48 tonight, and this is going to be a pretty fluid situation. So some of these warnings that I show you as I'm showing you them, they're going to be updated, so just bear with me here. This is a flood advisory now that I'm looking at. This is basically the step below a warning. It means if you're in these areas like League City, Alvin, Santa Fe, Texas City, San Leon, just get ready. If rain continues in your area, you'll be upgraded to a warning. But for the time being, this includes a big chunk of people, 500,000. So this is just outside of the Loop. So this includes a portion of the Southeast Beltway. Brookside Village, you're included in that. Baytown, all the way down to Liverpool and Booney, you're included in that as well. Another advisory that extends a little closer to the coastline. This includes 100,000 people. That's the one that is circled around Santa Fe and Texas City. Let's take you to the north, where we've seen flood warnings, flash flood warnings, really localized warnings. There's a gamut of areas that have extra precautions right now. So this particular polygon that I'm looking at right here includes Brazos, Grimes, Waller, and Washington counties. Some 8,000 people included in that, and that's until 2 o'clock. There's just been an enormous amount of rainfall in a short amount of time, and so we're seeing especially our creeks or streams or rivers or bayous that are becoming oversaturated, and so they're starting to see that spillover effect. Another flood warning, this one including Polk, San Jacinto, Trinity, and Walker. So 45,000 people in this warned area. Again, same deal there, just number of inches in just 3 hours, and then I'll show you the rainfall totals over the last 48 hours. Those are pretty impressive and dangerous, and they'll paint the picture as to why we're seeing these warnings popping up all across the area. A more confined stretch of a warned area for Polk and San Jacinto, including 6,500 people, and that'll last until 9:30 this morning. Another spot that we're watching just north of Oakhurst. This includes 445 people. So you'll notice there are also very specialized warnings within the general areas that are being watched, like this area right here, which is being warned because of creek issues. So Colorado County with a warning there until 6 o'clock this evening. Another spot that we're watching that also has kind of like a very specialized warned area right there. Very, very small spot south of Waller County is being warned because it's having gauge issues. So the Harris County Flood Control District has been monitoring these rain gauges really carefully. And right now we're seeing that the level of capacity is being exceeded. So this particular gauge, the overflow level is just over 221 feet, and it's surpassed that. And with rain continuing to fall, Mound Creek and FM 362 are under a flood warning. Another spot where flooding is likely, there's no flood warning in effect right now, but flooding is likely, is going to be 3 Mile Creek and Joseph Road. Both of those areas to watch for the likelihood of flooding included in Waller County. Now I'll take you over a little bit further east. Flooding is also likely in Caney Creek. This is going to be FM 2090, and this is going to be for Montgomery County. So far, Harris County gauges are being monitored, and we don't have any active flooding likely or flood warnings for Harris, at least for the Harris County Flood Control rain gauges. You saw that flood advisory that includes portion of the Beltway down to the coast. So no warnings, but kind of a get ready scenario. And this is why 48-hour rainfall totals, my goodness, they are significant. Now, not for everybody, maybe in your neighborhood, you've had rain the last couple of days, but it's been lighter to moderate. That's fine, but if you fix your eyes a little bit further towards the north, towards Brenham, Navasota, I mean, there's a huge swath that catches your eye. Those are rainfall totals. I'll take you in a little bit closer. Wow. That are now pushing towards the gray. That would mean radar indicated rainfall rates that are above 14 inches. I'll give you an exact number of what radar is picking up here in a second, but I wanted to show you this spot too. This is the area where the flood warning actively is for that Harris County Flood Control gauge. So they've received 5 inches. That's enough to push some of these flood levels over the edge. And then the spots that have seen flash flood warnings throughout the morning, you can put 2 and 2 together as to why that is. Over the last couple of days, a tremendous amount of rain, and with rain continuing to fall this morning and into the afternoon, that's going to be an area to certainly keep a close eye on. So yeah, radar indicated above 14 inches, 14.4 to be exact, so almost 14 and a half inches for Brenham. 3-hour rainfall totals have been on the lighter side. Now I'm going to scale this back to the last 6 hours here when we go back around, because a lot of the rain this morning has been really focused along the I-10 corridor and closer to the coastline, which is why that flood advisory was issued for portions of Brazoria, Chambers, and Harris County too. Forecasted for the remainder of the day and into tomorrow morning, anywhere between an additional 1 to 4 inches is likely. That's on top of what we received this morning. So Cheetah and I were doing team coverage this morning, and we saw rainfall accumulations already at 3, 4, even closer to 5 inches in some spots just for this morning. So this is what's projected for the remainder of the day. So we'll have to continue to add on the rain totals and keep a close eye on those gauges, because there's only so much they can take. So high water spots are definitely possible throughout the day. Flooding is also possible, and in a couple spots it's likely, which is why the warning is up. I'll show you future track. So this is what the model is interpreting is happening right now. It's not a perfect recollection of what's happening, So the projected outlook is not going to be perfect either. It's what we call how the model is initializing. If it was picking up on everything perfectly on radar, we'd have a shoo-in confidence as to what's going to happen in maybe an hour or 2 or 3. But depending on how well it's initializing depends on the accuracy that we'll see moving forward. I want you to take away the general trend that we're going to see throughout the day, which is heavy rain pretty much area-wide for the remainder of the late morning until about the noon hour. I think then we see a little bit of a quieting in terms of the rainfall coverage and the rainfall intensity. So as a snapshot at 12:30, you'll see pockets of heavy rain, especially working west to east. But I think at least for the loop and the beltway, and especially along the coast, we'll get a little bit of a reprieve from the heavy rain for now. As we head to 3, 4 o'clock, I think that rain picks up again, and we could see some heavy downpours right in the heart of downtown. And then for your commute home, if you're headed towards the East Tex Freeway, maybe you're commuting back to Anahuac, or maybe you're commuting back to the island, you're going down the Gulf Freeway, the rain's going to follow you. So keep that in mind. It's going to be white knuckle driving again for this late afternoon and evening. Now 9 o'clock, we get a clearing, but what comes in behind that, another round of showers as we head into Thursday morning. So here's the bottom line. We're watching for the threat of flooding. That threat is increasing as we continue to see rounds of rain that haven't been letting up, at least for the last couple of hours. We could see an isolated up to 8 inches of rainfall, and that's a live look at radar right now. So we have a live update here coming up on the TV side, so go check Cheetah out for that, and I'll be back with more updates here on the web in a couple minutes.